Hello, Rick Slark with Slark Consulting Group, talking today about Preventure. So, Preventure is the considering of starting a business before you actually start. It's one of the most important areas of consideration and one that most people spend the least time in. They allow emotion and excitement to take over here. And my goal is in this module is to help you slow down a little bit and think about uh, this decision. And this module is actually called Should I Start This Business? And that's really what we want to talk about. And the reason it's so important is I work with small business owners, Main Street business owners, growth business owners, and especially in this area here of Preventure, I don't think we prepare ourselves well enough to consider this. And then we dive in financially, we make big decisions, and we have not really tested to see whether this will work or not. And so this module is to present these 5 questions for you to decide whether this is a good move for you or not. I'm not here to tell you what it is, whether it is or whether it isn't, but there are some fundamental questions that you need to consider as you think through it. So let's dive in into those. The first one is there a profitable and sustainable market for this product or service? Now, I want you to listen to these words: profitable and sustainable. So, are there enough felt need and are there enough customers who will pay a, a price that you can live on or that you can make profit on? And they will not only buy that, but they will do it consistently. So you need both. You need profitable and sustainable. And so the question again is there enough or is there a profitable and sustainable market for this product and service? Do enough people consistently want this enough to pay for it at a profitable level? Number two, do I have enough money to survive the ramp between the business being profitable and while I'm working on it? And the question is, can I realistically survive the period between startup and stable revenue without creating overwhelming pressure for my family? Really important. One of the words of wisdom here is that it will take you 3 to 4 times longer than you think it will to get up and ramped up. And it will also take you 3 to 4 times more money. And so, whatever you've considered this startup to cost you, you need to times that by 4. And however, whatever the length of time you think it's going to take, you need to times that by 4. And believe me, you do not want to skip this. This is the gospel when it comes to the real life part of it. Number 3, am I prepared to run the business and not just do the work? So, owning a business requires more than performing the craft or the service. It also requires learning sales, marketing, finance, operations, decision making, and leadership. And I see many, many people that are very good at the craft or very, very good at the service, but they are not good at the other parts of the business. And that causes a lot of problems. And so initially, you need to learn all of those parts of the business um, as you are starting up. And are you prepared to do that? Number 4. So, how will I test this idea before going all in? So, what practical steps can I take to validate demand, pricing, operations, and customer interest before jumping in? How can I do that? How will I test this idea to do that? And then finally, number 5 is, am I prepared for the pressures, the uncertainty, and the responsibility of owning a business? So Business ownership requires and involves a lot of stress, a lot of unpredictability, a lot of long hours, a lot of difficult decisions, and a lot of personal discipline and responsibilities. And are you or your partner or your spouse or your family, are they ready for that kind of work? So now I've going to just reflect a little bit on some of those questions, and those questions were birthed out of real advising, real coaching. These weren't just something I made; these were things I see almost every day. So let's reflect a little bit. So as you think about this, which of these questions concerns you the most? For most, it's the financial part. Which questions have you spent the least time considering? It's probably, are you ready to do all the rest of the work, not just the craft? Um, what assumptions are you currently making about this business that you have no facts for, right? What are some of those assumptions? What evidence do you currently have that this business can realistically work? What would failure most look like to you? And by the way, failure is not a bad thing, right? But you don't want to just go out and fail. You want to make the best attempt you possibly can. Um, what parts of ownership do you believe would be the most difficult for you? For most people, it's the finances, understanding that. And if you moved forward, what would be the first step you would realistically take? So, those are some questions to help you begin to think about this. And again, should you actually start this business? I don't know, but I think you should take a deep dive and look into it. If you need some help, contact us at slarkconsultinggroup.com.